Hey, everybody. Hey, everybody. Y'all know who it is. Y'all know who it is, man. Y'all know who it is. Yeah, it's your boy, E. Hood, pastor of Full Impact Ministries. What's happening, everybody? Man, it's good to see y'all. I pray y'all doing well. I pray things are going wonderful in your life. And I'm hoping that we are beginning to grow and be mature in some things versus steady going through the same issues every season. It got to be some different ones now. So this is my prayer that we go ahead and continue to grow, get ourselves right, so we can begin to be real people of standards, of substance. So I want to bring something to you all that I don't know how this is going to go with you all, but hopefully y'all will see something in this that is going to help you all as far as getting some wisdom on what to do in things such as voting and things such because there are a lot of things that we do that we think that we're doing for a cause and we don't have a clue of what we're doing, really. And I just want to begin to enlighten us on some things so that we can begin to stop being so ignorant in some things. So I want to speak about why black Christians vote. Why black Christians vote. And I want to welcome you all to this live message. And I want you all to begin to share these messages and begin to let people know that your boy Hood, that he be coming on and he be bringing some good stuff prayerfully for us to learn and grow, so that not only we can grow, but people that's connected to us, and for people who really want the truth can get the truth from our lifestyles. So I want to talk about why black Christians vote. Why black Christians vote. And I began to look at this here thing because I'm looking at all the black, Christians, all the black Christians that are voting, and many of them are really pushing for Biden, and many of them are, and I'm just looking at this here stuff, and I'm like, wow, we really don't know. No. And, and you can't get angry at people because you're like, we just really don't know. We just don't know. So I thought it would be proper for me to come on here and begin to show black Christians why you vote. See, there's a thing that's called generational ignorance. Yeah. There's a thing that's called generational ignorance that many, hey Gwen, bless you. There's a thing called generational ignorance. And I'm speaking on why black Christians vote. So what I want y'all to do, I want y'all to begin to share the videos. I know a lot of my stuff is controversial because a lot of my posts, no, don't start lying, Pastor. All my posts are controversial. My lives are controversial because I want us to begin to think. And I want us to stop functioning out of emotions. I want us to begin to think. Just begin to say, you know what, let me put my emotions to the side and let me begin to do some thinking. So my lives and my posts, what they do is they will begin to prick the heart. They're beginning, because watch this here, they prick my heart. So I can begin to think, okay, Okay, why am I doing that? So I had put up some posts, I believe a few days ago, as far as voting. Hey, Glenn. And I had put up some things as far as voting, on why are you voting, and why are you voting for Trump, and why are you voting for Biden. And folks got all out of their body mad at me, which is usual for me, so that don't bother me. But they got mad and said that I'm that I'm discouraging people from voting, and that I need to stop starting trouble. And one lady, I believe her name was Emmy Blake. Emmy Blake. This heifer told me, she said, "You an ignorant person." Now I started to cuss her out, but watch this, me being a man of God. I decided not to. What I did was blocked her, but I started to cuss her out. She said, "You are an ignorant person." I said, "Lord, jeez, I'm ignorant." Okay, okay. So I want to talk to us about why black Christians vote. And you're going to see some things in here that probably is going to open your eyes to why black Christians vote. And I'm speaking to black Christians because whether we know it or not, whether we understand it or not, the spiritual realm dictates, your spiritual belief dictates the way your natural life is going to move. Your spiritual beliefs is going to dictate the way your natural path is going to go. That's just the truth. You can't get away. You can't get around it. Your spiritual beliefs are going to dictate where your natural life goes. I want to go over here to 1 Samuel chapter 8. I want to go over here to 1 Samuel chapter 8. And this is where the prophet Samuel, who was a prophet that was assigned to Saul. This prophet here, I am going to read this chapter, 1 Samuel chapter 8. So if you got your Bibles, you can go with me through this here, because I'm not going to be all day now. No. So I'm going to speak on 1 Samuel chapter 8, and I'm going to begin at verse 1. Listen to this here. And I'm talking about why black Christians vote. And I'm going to connect the dots here so you can see. Verse 1. Now it came to pass when Samuel was old that he made his sons judges over Israel. Now Samuel was the prophet for Israel. Now he made his sons judges over Israel. Now watch this. In that time, no one made judges. It was God himself who individually appointed judges. Not no man. God himself appointed judges. When you read the book of Judges, God himself appointed judges. But now Samuel, he appointed his two sons judges over Israel. It's just like in the black church when you have these here preachers who actually raise their children up, and their children, and now their children, they become, and they take over the church, and they doing this in the church, and they haven't had no schooling. And watch this here. No discipling in what they're doing. Come on, preacher, tell the truth. But the pastor will give them the slot. The pastor will he will ordain them the slot where they don't have any business being in. Any business being in. and wondering why they function in the way they do. Watch this here. Verse 2. The name of his firstborn was Joel. Hey, Eryk, bless you, brother. And the name of his second, Abijah. They were judges in Beersheba. Watch this. But his sons did not walk in his way. They turned aside after dishonest gain, took bribes, and perverted justice. Now his son Joel, his name means the Lord is God. Abijah means my father is the Lord. So now see, here it is that Samuel done appointed his sons judges, and their names represent God, but they're functioning totally contrary to who he is. Hey, Eryk, bless you. But they're functioning totally contrary to who he is. We're talking about why black Christians vote. Now, Samuel done gave his two sons judges spots, which he was not supposed to do. Only God ordained judges in that time. God ordained individual judges when you look in the book of Judges. Samuel had ordained his sons judges, gave them names representing God, and they function total contrary to what the names mean. Isn't it strange how we do the same thing today in the black church? Ordain these people and they function totally contrary. Totally contrary. Isn't it strange how we have people who call themselves Christians, Christian, Christ-like, but function totally contrary to the full meaning of that? This is what he did. This is what he did. Watch this. Watch this. Verse 4. Because what they did, they had turned away from the Lord. They didn't function like he functioned, period. They turned away, and they did dishonest gain. They took bribes and perverted justice. The same thing that goes on now. We got these folks, they taking bribes. They perverting justice. I mean, they sleeping with everybody in the church. I mean, they stealing the money. I mean, and now they are joining covenant with things that are totally ungodly. Totally ungodly. And this is why things are messed up in the church now. And watch what it does. Over in verse 4. Then all the elders of Israel gathered together and came to Samuel and said to him, "Look, you are old, and your sons do not walk in your ways." Hey, Bishop. Now make us listen why black Christians vote. I'm reading from 1 Samuel chapter 8. Now make us a king to judge us like all the nations. The elders came to Samuel and told him, your sons, the ones you appointed judges, they are totally contrary to your ways. Now make us a king to judge us like all the nations. We want to be like everybody else. Now everybody else got a king. We want to be like everybody else. Give us one. So now, see, isn't it funny how we speak in the church and we say, oh, I'm in the world, but I'm not going to be like the world. Oh, you be in the world, but be not of the world, and all this stuff here. And we say, well, let's not be like the world and do this. But you're doing completely what the world do. You in on getting a king for you. And God is saying, no, I thought I was your king. Like what? Watch this now. Why black Christians vote. But the thing displeased Samuel when they said, give us a king to judge us. So Samuel prayed to the Lord. Now you want to pray to the Lord. After your sons that you appointed judges, you appoint them judges. So you know what they doing, and you ain't chastise these jokers. It's just like now in church, you know, the daddy get a church, raise the church up, and now he old, so he gone. So he appoints his sons and his daughters positions in the church. They don't have no training, and their lifestyles are total contrary to the word of God. But he'll give them slots anyway. And then when they get these slots, they function just like Samuel's sons did. They dishonest, they pervert, they go to sleep with everybody in the church, they go to treating everybody in the church bad. All this happens. Come on, watch this. And the Lord said to Samuel, heed the voice of the people in all that they say to you. God said, okay. Okay, then. See, we have people that say, oh, God was wrestling with me. Oh, and I was running from God. And I didn't want this position. I was running from God. God ain't chasing you. God ain't chasing you. Stop with that religious mess. Oh, you ain't running from God. God is not chasing you. You do what you want to do. God is going to say, okay. God told Samuel, okay, heed to what they want, player. Heed to what they want. Watch this here. They have not rejected you, but they have rejected me, that I should not reign over them. We're talking about why black Christians vote. Now, God is saying to Samuel, they have not rejected you. They rejected me, that I won't be king over them. See, and this is why black Christians are voting now, because they really don't have a strong tie. They're really not connected to Jesus to really receive him as King of Kings. Yeah, come on, boy. Yeah, and Lord of Lords. So now they resort to things just like the world do, and they say, give us a king, like all other nations. So now the black Christians, they the ones are out here now voting for a president. So now what you're doing is, unknowingly in a whole lot of cases, and you think that this is your godly duty to do this here, but unknowingly what you're doing, you are putting somebody else over God. Come on, preacher. Yeah, it's rough on them. I know it's rough, man. I know it's early. I know it's rough. But somebody got to tell the truth, man. And so now you as a Christian, black Christians I'm talking about, you as a black Christian, you are putting some man over you to be your king versus God. Come on. Keep on preaching. What? It's going to get rougher, but it's okay. It's okay. Jesus is a healer. Verse 8, according to all the works which they have done since the day that I brought them up out of Egypt, even to this day, with which they have forsaken me and served other gods. He's talking to the black Christians. So they are doing to you also. This is God talking to Samuel. This is God talking to his prophet Samuel. Watch this. Now therefore heed their voice. God said, give them what they want. Give them what they want. That's what they want. Give it to them. I'm the one. It was me, says the Lord. It was me. It was me that protected them through everything. It was me. It was me that did that for Gideon. It was me that did that for Abraham. It was me that did that for Moses. It was me that did that for y'all when y'all was in the wilderness. It was me that did that. But you want somebody else to protect you now, okay? Okay. And he said, give them what they want. Watch this word here, though. Watch the word here. Watch this here. However, oh my God, however, this is why black Christians vote, because they can try to separate themselves from the world all they want to, but they function just like the world. You got these pastors out here promoting you to go vote for one of these jokers. And guess what? And I done even saw people on Facebook saying, Christians, black Christians, well, we got to vote for the lesser of two evils. I've seen it several times. Well, we got to vote for the lesser of two evils, and this is our Christian duty. This is what the black Christians say. This is our Christian duty. I'm like, are you that ignorant? Are you that ignorant of the word of God? Are you that ignorant? Really? Watch this. However, you shall solemnly forewarn them and show them the behavior of the king who will reign over them. This is God talking to his prophet, and he's telling them what to tell the children of Israel. I'm talking about why black Christians vote. So Samuel told all the words of the Lord to the people who asked him for a king. And he said, this will be the behavior. This is going to be the behavior. Now, you tell me if these things are not happening right now today. This will be the behavior of the king who will reign over you. He will take your sons and appoint them for his own chariots and to be his horsemen. He will take your sons and he will put them in the military. You got black folks in the military. Now watch this. Now you veterans, now don't y'all go to getting all emotional and in your feelings. I'm trying to help us as black people, black Christians. Now so now God is telling them, he's going to take your sons and put them in his military and fight for his rights, because they don't have any. Now how many of us know that we have black folks who have went and fought the war, who are in the army and still don't get the respect that the other culture do, that white folk get? And as a matter of fact, even in fighting for the so-called country, they're still treated under the whites. They're still treated like slaves. Come on, keep on going, preacher. What's it? And some will run before his chariots. These are ones who will be like on a suicide mission. These are ones that will be like a suicide mission in the army. Watch this. He will appoint captains over his thousands and captains over his 50s. These are going to be the people, these are going to be the white folks who are running your sons, and they're going to make sure that they do what they're supposed to do. They don't have any say-so, any rank, but they're going to do what they, because this is the behavior. And you can't tell me that this ain't going on now. Watch this. He will set some to plow his ground and reap his harvest. He's going to have. So now we got jobs that are being built and work in warehouses to where for the most part, when you see the warehouses, have you ever seen the warehouse when it's being built? When it's built by mostly white folk. Because they getting the real money. Then when it's built, now on the inside, you got mostly black folk in there working to begin to make the money for him. And you get paid pennies off the dollar. But now when the foundation is being built to build a warehouse, got mostly white folks, they making the real money. This is why their white wives are able to stay home and raise the children, because they making enough for them to live good. But now when the warehouse is open, you got all the black folk in there scuffling and buffling and barely making it. So now the black wife, if they are together, they both have to work, and the child is being raised by somebody else. Talk to me, preacher. Talk to me, somebody. He will appoint, verse 12, 13. And some to make his weapons of war and equipment for his chariots. Now we have the assembly line. Nobody is being treated with any honor and respect. He's telling you the characteristics of your king, of the one that you voted in. You voted him in. You did this. You're a black Christian. You voted him in. Watch this. He will take your daughters to be perfumers, cooks, and bakers. You see all these CNAs. Most blacks are CNAs, women's, unless they go and get some education and be a nurse. But they the ones, and now they in the hotel, they making all these beds up. Hey, Providence bless you, darling. And they making all these beds up, and they doing all the cooking and everything. This is the characteristic. This is how your king, the one you voted in, is going to treat you. Why black Christians vote. I'm reading from 1 Samuel chapter 8. I'm on verse 14. And he will take the best of your fields, your vineyards, and your olive groves, and give them to his servants. That's where the taxation come in at, player. To where now they going to even put more pressure on you, more burdens on you, because now they taxing you. Let me get that, player. Let me get that, because the people who I got over you, I need them to live. I need them to live good. I need them to live. The king that you voted for is treating you like this here, because you want another king other than God to reign over you. So God told Samuel, give them what they want. Give them what they want. You want to be like the world? Give them what they want. But see, Jesus said it like this, and this is why black Christians, black people are so oppressed, because the scriptures said, Jesus said, the world love his own. So now you want to be like them, but you can't fit in. So now you're going to get misused by the world, by that king, by the one you voted in. Come on, preacher. Come on, preacher. Verse 15. He will take a tenth of your grain and your vintage and give it to his officers and servants. Now he double taxing you. You see how taxes get higher and higher, because he has to use you to pay his people so they can live good. Why do you think? I've seen it when I was in Bolingbrook, Illinois. And on my days off, I used to see where in McDonald's, it would be a lot of white women having their babies out there on play dates. These are work days. Their babies out there on work dates, and they getting in all these nice, expensive vans and stuff, and Cadillacs and stuff like this here, and they talking about what their husbands do. Their husbands got the great jobs, And I just sat there and I'm just ear hustling. And I'm like, wow, look at this foolishness. But we in the warehouse making nickels and dimes. Barely making it. And me and the wife, we got to work. The kids are left by themselves. Because of the king, we voted in. We voted this joke in. And God said, this is how he's going to treat you. God told Samuel, give them what they want. However, because he said, give them what they want, Samuel. They have not rejected you. They have rejected me from being king over their lives. They rejected me. And you got black Christians want to run out here and actually promote this voting thing, and you're not going to get nothing done for you. We've been voting since 1965. What have we gotten every time we vote? What have we got? We've been voting since 1965, the year that I was born. It would be 55 years this year. What have we got? What have we got? Nothing. And you know why? It's because of the ignorance of the blacks. You don't know what to do. You don't know how to act. Let me keep going. Watch this. And he will take your male servants, your female servants, your finest young men, and your donkeys, and put them to his work. This is what goes on right now in today's society for the black people. The black people, this is what goes on. It's not benefiting us none. Watch this. Watch this. Watch this. He will take a tenth of your sheep. Another taxing. He taxing blacks like crazy. Taxing them. Look at him. Look at him. We the only culture that can't get nothing from the government. Every other culture, they get loans to start businesses, everything. We the only culture can't get nothing. And many of y'all will say, well, it's because of your credit score. Yeah, that's part of it, but you got to understand the system is set up like that. The system is set up to keep us up under. And then you have the black Christians who are supposed to be leading the way for the black community, functioning just like the world. And you say, oh, we're not of the world. Oh, we're in the world, but we're not of the world. But you said, black Christian, give us a king like everybody else. You said, black Christian, give us a king like everybody else. I don't want him to be king anymore, Jesus. And you'll sing these songs, Kings of Kings, Lord of Lords. Jesus said it like this, why do you call me Lord, Lord? Want me to tell another part, preacher? Want me to tell him? But you won't do what I tell you. You're the one promoting the vote. You pushing the vote. Watch this. And you will be his servants, and you will cry out in that day because of your king whom you have chosen for yourselves. Then you're going to have all these Christians. Now you want to have all the black Christians. Now they want to come together and pray. Oh, Lord, help us, Lord. Oh, we don't know why we being oppressed. We don't know why we being misused. We don't know why all this injustice is coming towards us. We don't know why these white police are killing black men and women. We don't know why we being treated like this. We don't know why we can't get any funding. All because we signed a sincere paper too. So we're on the number. We don't know why we're not getting funded. We don't know why we can't get anything. Every other culture can. I went for a loan and I couldn't get a loan because I want to start a business, but I can't get a loan. Oh, but every other culture, but I saw a Chinese get a restaurant right over there. I saw a Mexican get one over there. I saw an Indian person get one over there. They got a cleaners over there. I can't get nothing. I saw them get a gas station over there. And you steady crying to God now, but watch this here. You wanted to be connected to, you wanted to be just like all other nations. That's what you told Samuel. You want to be like all other nations. Give you a king. You got a king. You've been having a king for 55 years. What has it done for you? Watch it. Watch it. Watch it. Wait a minute. Okay. And the Lord, watch this here, and the Lord will not hear you in that day. You can cry out all you want to, and the Lord will not hear you in that day. Y'all want to cry, march, and protest for justice, and want to hold arms and lock arms and kneel down and all this here old and kneel down, and now you want to push the vote, and we want justice, and we demand justice. You can't demand justice from the devil. The hell with justice. I want judgment on them devils. I want judgment. You trying to be friends with somebody who wants you to be up under their feet. The prisons was made for slaves. The prisons was made to counteract slavery being abolished, as they say. And you want to pray for justice to a devil. You want to pray for justice, and you want to try to be friends with the devil. Hey, Colleen, and you want to, let's pray for the president. Let's pray for unity. Let's pray for justice. You can't be unified with somebody that wants you up under them. And now you crying to God, and you got prayer visuals and all this here. But you the one asked for a king. You asked for it. And now that he done told you how this king is going to treat you, now you want to pray. You want to pray for damn justice. I want judgment. Kill them. Kill them, kill their kids, kill it all. God told him, he told him, when you go into the land, kill everything. The grown-ups, the children, the sheep, the goat, kill everything. Hey, Jeremiah, bless you, brother. Kill everything. Because what happens is when you do that, when you leave stuff alive, it grows up to oppress our children and grandchildren and great-grandchildren. We are reaping the repercussion because our grandmothers and great-grandmothers who was going to church and our granddaddies and all this here, they didn't have the weaponry to come against this foolishness. So now they want to be with Martin Luther King. They want to go and walk for justice and civil rights and all this here garbage, when they don't understand, when you Negroes don't understand that stuff was built in hypocrisy. When you really check out what Martin Luther King Jr. was on, when you check out what he was on, he was a hypocrite. He wasn't about no non-violence movement. He wasn't about that. He was tricked into that by a sissy. Baynard Rustin. Read it. Martin Luther King had guns all around. That man had a bed full of guns. He wasn't about that. And he led thousands of folks on a hypocritical mission that he wasn't even about in his heart. And now he got these folks out here, they getting busted in the head with bricks, and they getting water hose put on them. I mean, they getting stabbed, and they got billet clubs. They beating them, and dogs biting on them and dragging them everywhere. And he wasn't even about that life. And he done had thousands of folks riding with him on something that he wasn't even about himself. This is what come on, preacher. Now you got folks leading you into some stuff that they don't even know what the hell they leading you into. And by you being ignorant, you doing it as well. We talking about why black Christians vote. Keep preaching, boy. I know it's rough right now, but it's okay. Verse 19. Nevertheless, the people refused. Listen, after Samuel told them everything what the king is going to do to them and their sons and their daughters, he's going to take everything. He's going to have them to do hard labor with little money. He's going to have them to stay up under the white folks. He's going to have them to stay up under. He's going to keep oppressing them. God had Samuel the prophet to tell them detail by detail of what he's going to do to their sons, their people. They told Samuel, verse 19 in 1 Samuel chapter 8, nevertheless, this is what the black Christians are saying now. No, it's our sworn civic duty. It's our sworn civic duty to to vote for the president. It's our sworn civic duty to do this. We have a God-ordained duty. I've saw folks on social media say they have a God-ordained duty to vote. That ain't in the Bible, you idiot. And you wonder why the black community is still up under. And you're doing it with no wisdom. You don't even know why you vote. You don't even know why you vote. You folks are voting Democrat, don't even know why. I have asked that question on Facebook and I put a post up. I said, why are you voting? If you're voting for Trump, why? If you're voting for Biden, why? You folks don't even know why you vote. You just voting because your mammy and your grandmammy, your daddy and your granddaddy and your all the rest of them did it. Got nothing out of it. Nothing. What have we got out of it? What have we got? What have we as black people got out of it? We've been voting, this will be 55 years. What have we got? We've been led by folk we are being led by black folk who are so bogus. Watch this. Watch this. Nevertheless, the people refused to obey the voice of Samuel. You got somebody like me telling you now. You got somebody telling me you got somebody like me right now. Your present day Samuel right now is telling you what thus said the Lord about you voting. I'm telling you right now. But watch what you say. Nevertheless. Then you're going to wonder why your son and your grandson and your great-grandson, why your daughter, your granddaughter, and your great-granddaughter grow up struggling, oppressed, locked up. The people refused to obey the voice of Samuel, and they said, no, man, I don't care what you say. I don't care what you say. No. But we will have a king over us, that we also may be like all the nations. This is why you got all these preachers out here. That's why you got all these preachers out here. These black preachers who so they want to promote voting to you. You got the black athletes, they want to promote voting to you because they know that most you blacks are just as ignorant as hell when it comes to things of the black culture. They know that many of y'all are so ignorant till it's ridiculous, and now you're so so indoctrinated with ignorance to where you are going to reject the truth no matter how plain it is in your sight. And you wonder why your son is raised up selling drugs and gang banging and locked up. And you wonder why your daughter you wonder why she grew up at 15 and 16 and 17 and she having babies after babies after babies by guys who ain't going to do nothing for her. And you wonder why this revolving cycle of generational ignorance, of generational poverty, of generational lack, of generational rebellion goes on, and it intensifies as the generation goes. And you wonder why every time you vote, this is why they able to come to black churches every time they vote, and they grab one of them little nappy head black babies of y'all and kiss and hug, and y'all so ignorant that y'all sit up there and y'all take a picture with them. Click. Many of y'all in your neighborhoods, y'all don't even know where your aldermen live. These are the black folks that they set up over you who do nothing for your neighborhood. You don't even know where your alderman office is. You don't even know the name of your alderman. You don't even know what their job is. They've been getting free checks off of your community for the longest because you don't have any indication of nothing that goes on in the political arena that you voted for. You ain't even got a clue. And you so ignorant of it is that when you go to vote, you just voting Democrat, because you have a poverty mindset. You have a poverty mindset. And when folks are trying to tell you the truth because all of them are devils to me. I wouldn't vote for none of them rotten bastards. All of them crooked. And they care nothing for black folks. Nothing. If you don't believe me, look around. They don't care nothing for black folk. And we steady voting these jokers in. For what? You are voting to be oppressed. You are voting to have injustice on you. You are voting this stuff in. You're doing it because of your ignorance. I'm telling you, you need to get some wisdom on what you do. You need to have some demands. Them white folks in their communities, and we be talking about where you go in their communities, and their communities, oh, they all nice, and they got restaurants outside to where you can just sit down and eat outside, and the streets are clean and all this here, and they just got these lovely restaurants and stuff where healthy food is at. But in my community, we got these submarine spots, and we got all these grease pit spots and taverns, ran down libraries if you can find one. And this is in my community. But see, the difference between you ignorant black folks versus them white folks, they know who their alderman is. They know who the secretary is. They know who the councilman is. And they know what their jobs are. They know how much is in the budget. And they know what they are supposed to do for their community. And they approach the alderman. They approach the councilman. They approach the secretary. And they approach the police. And they let them know this is what you're going to do for this community. We know how much is in there. This is what you're going to do for it. But no, you why black Christians vote. But you all vote out of straight ignorance. You don't have a clue. And as a result, you black Christians, you lead the way for the black community to be just like you. You lead the way for the black community to be just like you, ignorant and lost. Because they following you. They following you. So how do you expect the black community to grow up in wisdom? How do you expect the black community to make right moves when you don't? And you got your pastor. Let me tell you, if you have a political figure come into your church and get up on a podium and begin to speak, I can guarantee you this here. Your black pastor has been bought with some type of grant. Your black pastor. I'm talking about why black Christians vote. I can guarantee you your black pastor has been bought with some type of grant. I remember when I was in Chicago, we went up there on Roosevelt. We went up there on Roosevelt at the juvenile center, and it was a big room that they had. And you had the aldermen on one side, and the black pastors on the other side. And the mayor's assistant was there. They thought the mayor was coming, but the mayor's assistant was there. And they were showing pictures of the black boys and girls that was coming out. And the black preachers would stand up. I saw him, and he said, how much is the grant for that child? Then another one, how much is the grant for that child? And I said, you brought me to this foolishness? What the hell, man? I hit you in your... I'm telling you, when you have a political official in your church come to speak to you, your pastor has been bought. Your black pastor, your black apostle, your black prophet, your black evangelist, your black pastor and teacher has been bought. Your black bishop has been bought. They're not going to come for any other reason, because they know that because they know that your pastor have the influence to sway your vote. I'm telling you why black Christians vote, because you're ignorant of who you are. You have disconnected yourself from the vine, and now you have took Jesus off the throne as your king. You have took Jesus off the throne as your Lord, and now you want to be like everybody else, and you want to vote for a king. And you wonder why life is like it is for the black people. I'm done with this here. Watch this. And that our king may judge us and go out before us and fight our battles. They said that they want their king to judge them and go out before them and fight their battles. This is what you're saying. Every time you vote, this is what you're saying. I want that king. That's my king right there. That's the king that's going to give me a stimulus. That's the king that's going to raise minimum wage to $15 an hour. That's the king that's going to help me. That's the king that's going to give me more food stamps. That's the king that's going to make Section 8 better for me. That's the king that's going to build more warehouse so we can have more of these cheap labor jobs. That's the king that's going to help me get some type of little small grant. That's the king that's going to give me some more row houses to live in. That's the king that's going to give me a job at Walmart. That's the king that's going to give me a job at McDonald's. That's the king that's going to keep me up under them. And all the while, that's the king that's going to smile in my face and say, he has done more for blacks than anyone. That's the king that I want in my life. He's going to fight my battles, because God, you are not fighting my battles quick enough. God, you are not showing me anything. So give us a king. Give us a king that can help us. God said, give them what they want. Verse 21. And Samuel heard all the words of the people, and he repeated them in the hearing of the Lord. The Lord is listening. The Lord is listening. So the Lord said to Samuel, heed their voice and make them a king. You getting what you want, black Christian, because you're ignorant of who your king really is. You getting what you want, black Christian, because you're ignorant of who your Lord really is. So you're going to keep on being swayed by people like Martin Luther King Jr. You're going to keep being swayed by people like Reverend Jesse Jackson. You're going to keep being swayed by people like Al Sharpton. You're going to keep being swayed by people like your black pastor. Because these are the people that your king, who you voted in, these are the people that your king uses to sway you to vote him in. These are the people that your king uses to keep you underfoot. These are the people that your king uses to keep you ignorant of who you really are, to keep you ignorant of who Jesus is, because the black church is closely connected to white supremacy. See, white supremacy means this here. Let me show you what white supremacy, the definition of white supremacy is the belief that white people are superior to those of all other races. Watch this here. Especially the black race, and should therefore dominate society. You know how you got it was a slave movie where they had the black pastor come in and they would tell them what scripture to use. What scripture to use to keep the slaves subordinate and obedient to their slave master. Watch this, and to pray for their and to pray for their master, and to always keep a good heart toward their master, and to work toward their slave master as they are working unto the Lord. This is what your black preacher preaches to you all the time. Oh, just turn the other cheek. Turn the other cheek. Oh, God say pray for your enemies, because you don't understand the scriptures. You don't understand Jesus, because Jesus is no longer your king, so he can't reveal anything to you. Jesus is no longer your Lord, so he can't reveal anything to you. So you just ignorant and dumbfounded like everybody else. So now you listening and you standing up there saying, oh, preach, pastor. Preach, pastor. Oh, preach, pastor. And as soon as you walk out the door, here come that foot of oppression. Bam. Here come that foot of poverty and lack. Bam, here come that foot of shutting doors in your face. Here come that foot of slamming everything that's negative on your life, pounding you with heavy burdens and hard yokes. Because you said, give us a king. Give us a king. As a result, you have led the black community in a way that it has no business going. I don't know how y'all feel towards the ignorance of our black people, and especially the black church. But I solely blame the black church. I solely blame the black preachers for misguiding and misleading the black people. As a result, the black community suffers from it. And until some people begin to stand up with some wisdom and some boldness and some tact and begin to confront this mess that goes on, where it is going to get worse for our children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren, and so on. This your boy Hood, Pastor Full Impact Ministries. I want y'all to check out my podcast, Full Impact Ministries. Wherever podcast is at, Full Impact Ministries. Go check out my podcast. You'll learn some powerful stuff. I'm going to always be bringing stuff like this here to bring fire up under you. And I hope this made you angry. I hope you got a righteous indignation in you that will make you get so angry to where you begin to study who you are, to where you begin to study the truth about these rotten black leaders, to where you begin to learn the truth about this mess. Because you need to be set free and stop being so damn ignorant. Because you leading the black community down a wrong, you leading the black community down a destructive path. You need to stop praying for some justice and start praying for judgment. It's your boy Hood, Pastor Full Impact Ministries. Why black Christians vote. And I'm out. Peace.